Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. I've been listening to Big Finish. I am glad and happy and excited to report to you it's good Big Finish. It's good Big Finish, which is something I used to always be able to say. Not so much over the last few years. It's been a rocky few years creatively. I think they may have turned the corner. Now, this might be my optimism bias, but I think they might have turned the corner. They've rebooted all their ranges. And I think this is one that's been pretty successful. The first reboot we heard was the third Doctor range, one of their best releases. Like the Annihilators, really absolutely fantastic release. And also we heard a little bit of what was it, Michael Troughton's second Doctor, who's going to be their second Doctor range they're rebooting. So this is the first Doctor range they're rebooting, and it's markedly different from anything that's gone before. And I'm really kind of excited to see where it's going. So this one is, generally speaking, a recommend. If you can't wait to get to the interview, it's generally speaking a recommend. Let's go through it and explain to me why. Explain to me. No, I know why. Explain to you why I think it's a recommend. Before we get into it, can you hit the like button? Fan-frickin-tastic. Thank you very much. Hit the like button. I like to be liked, right? I do indeed like to be liked. Can you hit the share button? Can you hit the, can you comment? Comments are great. YouTube loves comments. If you subscribe, make sure you're still subscribed. If you're not subscribed, subscribe, baby. Really? Really? What are you waiting for? Sign up my Substack. You may have noticed the grainier picture. I'm recording this on my laptop because I have a ton of videos I'm recording today. This is like number 5 or 6. I got one more to go after this, thank God. It's a bit because I'm offline for the next 2 days. So I just got a lot of stuff to do. Like, share, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think. Substack. Substack is my email newsletter. It's been not happening this week because, as I said, my computer's died, which is why I'm on my freaking laptop. New computer next week. I can't wait. I absolutely can't wait. If you want to be super nice, sign up to my paid Substack because I need to buy a new freaking computer. You want scintillating content like this? Throw me a buck or two, you know. It never hurts, baby. It never hurts. Anyway, like, share, subscribe, comment, Substack, everything. Let's talk about this Doctor Who, right? This Doctor Who. And I'm really quite excited because I really feel it is Doctor Who. Because it really does convey the era. It conveys the era very well. And there's a few Hartnell eras, right? You know, you got the, the Verity Lambert first TARDIS team. And I think this is the... very much from like the second or third Hartnell period. It's the first Doctor with Dodo, and it's being played by Stephen Noonan and Laurent Cornelius. So first thing I noticed when listening to this is you have to get used to Stephen Noonan's take on the Doctor, which is clever and it's intelligent, right? And it's well observed. And it's not Patrick Troughton, right? It sounds kind of like Patrick Troughton. He's a little bit more up north, right? He's a little bit more northern than his day. And he's, but he really does. You can tell he's very closely studied this era, right? You can absolutely tell that he's put a lot of work, time, and thought into it, and it shows, right? It absolutely shows. And I think he's done a good job. You also can tell he's a fan of the first Doctor, right? And they know what they're doing. So I think this is a success. It's different, right? It's really starkly, it's kind of stunningly different. You know, like I like the William Russell one. I like the Peter Purvis one. I like David Bradley. None of them really sound that much like Hartnell. Richard Herndale, none of them really sounded that much like Hartnell. This one is, I think, the most actorly choice, right? This is one of those actorly choice with no. This is a kind of like if you imagine Peter Capaldi playing Hartnell. You know, Capaldi's take on the role was very well observed, right? Very well observed. Same thing here. Laurent Cornelius, excellent as Dodo. So this is a pairing that we haven't heard much of before. And I can look, the economic reasons make a lot of sense. There's only 2 characters as opposed to 4. You know, it's a smaller TARDIS team. I think it makes more financial sense. And they've really done an effort to echo the era, but the first story succeeds very well. Second story much less so, and I think again I put this down to this batch of writers, right? And I'd really written off who was it, Elizabeth Miles, as one as new, but did an excellent job on the Outlaws, the main story in this, and you get a bonus two-part as well. Fine, let's read the blurb, right? The blurb. So, brand new adventures for the Doctor and Dodo. Number 1, The Outlaws by Elizabeth Miles. Landing in 13th century Lincoln, the Doctor and Dodo are soon caught up in a battle between Sheriff Nicola de la Hare and outlaw gangs in the nearby forest. So when I first saw that, I'm like, oh god, it's a female sheriff. That sounds so stupid. This was actually a real female sheriff. They weren't making it up. But it was like, everything sounds like a lecture on the rights of man, right? Like everything, rights of women or people kind or whatever we're gonna say. Everything sounds like a lecture, and that sounded like it was going to be a lecture. It wasn't at all. She's a great character, an interesting character, and they really set up the dynamics, this political dynamics of the sheriff's castle in Lincoln. Very, 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 very well. In the making of afterwards, the Elizabeth Miles says, "Yeah, you probably won't notice this, but this is very much based on Robin Hood." It was very obviously based on Robin Hood, right? Let's keep reading the blurb. King John requires funds for his conflict with France, and Nicola is determined to provide them whatever the efforts of William of Berkshire and his gang of Wolveshead. Right, they're the bandits, the outlaw, the aforementioned outlaws of the title. After taking refuge in Lincoln Castle, the Doctor and Dodo are separated. The Doctor is detained at the pleasure of the sheriff, while Dodo indulges her adventurous spirit and plays forest outlaw with William's gang. Now, I really like what they've done with Dodo's character in this. Right, they made Dodo was. She was a standard companion. She wasn't really there long enough for you to register on. Here she's kind of like developing her own personality, which I like a lot. So imagine if you ever heard any more Big Finish Flip, the Sixth Doctor's companion Flip from the 1960s, right? That's basically, that sounds a lot more. She's very feisty. Doesn't feel like a cipher. Doesn't feel like a two-dimensional taken, but it feels like a real Doctor Who companion, and all the better for it. But William is not acting alone. The outlaw is not acting alone. The outlaw's true leader knows the Doctor and plans for revenge. So I don't know why I found this a surprise, because it said it right here. A man with a passion for meddling, a man who wears a monk's habit. Yeah, the meddling monks in this, I kind of think they should have recast Peter Buttersworth, but they went with Rufus Hound, who is excellent, right? Rufus Hound is excellent as the meddling monk. I just really nails it 100%. And what you have, again, a very, very authentic, traditional, historical story. Monks meddling around, the Doctor bundles in, kind of like Robin Hood. Good cliffhangers, good pacing. This whole story is good. This whole story really represents the era very well. So the plan was for the second story also to represent the era. They wanted to do one very traditional, like, historical story or something like that, and one of those, like, weirdy, not time meddler, I'm trying to think of Celestial Toy Maker type, ethereal stories, which they tried to with this, and there's a lot about it that didn't work. It's very, I wouldn't call it like progressive liberal, but it's very set in the present day. Like, it should have been set in the present day of the 60s, I feel. Right? Let's read the blurb. And there were good ideas behind it. I do feel that these new batch of writers, they're people, the editors are somewhat scared to edit them, right? That's the vibe I'm getting. So, Coulton Salt Mine, a rare environment for geological exploration on North Yorkshire. The Doctor is fascinated by experiments of Professor Medra and the Zelstein on the Zelstein seabed. But Dodo is distracted. Didn't her family settle in a part of Yorkshire? Well, it depends on what episode. Her accent changed wildly, didn't it? All through the time. So, I get the feeling that Professor Medra is trying to make a point that women can be scientists too. Again, no one has any trouble with that, right? Honestly, I have you ever met anybody who says, "A woman, a scientist"? Oh, heaven! I've never. I mean, if you have, let me know. I really have never ever encountered that in my life. As the Doctor delves deeper into the work of Professor Medra, Dodo is helped by security guard Mick Huff, who is concerned about one of the strange happenings in recent weeks. Who are the children that keep appearing around the mine working? And why are local landmarks vanishing? How can the bedrock of a geological quiet place be screaming? So again, it's nearly there, right? It needed a good edit, this story, right? Great performance, isn't it? Badland plays the main villain, and it's like not a real villainy villain, more like an ethereal villain. The actor plays Mick Gruff was also good, but I can't remember who he was. Stephen Noonan and Lauren Cornelius. Excellent. I mean, really, really excellent. So I like this range, right? I am on board for this range. I would like to see more of this range. I would like to see them do different kinds of stories with this range. Like, I would like to see kind of like an epic, kind of like Dalek Master Plan. If you want to do that over 6 episodes, like a romp, a chase through time and space, or something. We have to go to location, a very like comic book Hartnell-esque adventure. I would love to see that, right? That would be great. Or, if you want to go crazy, put it over 2 box sets, right? And have it be a 12-part story. Like a real Hartnell epic. I would love to see that. There's a lot more I would like to see. Honestly, I think Stephen Noonan is a smart man. If he's a writer, I would like to see him write some. I'd like to see Lauren Cornelius write something. They really understand these characters, right? And it's really, really breath of fresh air. Big Finish, as I said, have not had a good couple of years. I think they're turning the corner, right? I think they're turning the corner. This really balanced it well. Again, Miniaturist was... missed it, right? Just missed it. But Outlaws, absolutely excellent. And also, Elizabeth Miles now is on my list of writers that I will always watch. And there's a few writers that when I see them do something, I'm gonna buy it. Probably like John Dorney. Elizabeth Miles did an excellent job here, and it's great to be proved wrong, right? It was great to be proved wrong. It was a bit depressing being proved right by Lizzie Hopely. Look, Lizzie, darling, what can I tell you? It needed a bit more work. Now, Nick Briggs was also the director of these. I think he's the executive producer on the range. And Nick Briggs is the most important asset to Big Finish. He's the guy who straddles all the worlds. He's very, very progressive liberal. Very much believes in non-Brexit and Labour, and like it was very into. I wouldn't say in for Jeremy Corbyn's Labour, but he wasn't opposed to it, right? But he is very much on that side of the cultural aisle. Also, he has a real understanding for what Doctor Who is and what these things are he's working on, and normally his judgment is very good. Normally his judgment, I'll say, is excellent. So, I think he's really their best asset. I wish he could have put more of an eye over the second story. It's only 2 parts long. It's not terrible. It's worth listening to. But it's not as great as The Outlaws, which was really fantastic. So I'm looking forward to see what they do with this range next. My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe. And ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.